সাংবাদিক সম্মেলনে সীতারাম ইয়েচুরি।
Such a laws or not, but the point is the returns to the people on their lifelong savings, that is being drastically reduced. So these are matters of very serious concern. And the control over Indian economy, all the ports now with Mr. Adani Group, all the airports with them, cement production facilities, factories with them, the basic infrastructure for the economy of the country, it's all being controlled by in one gigantic group of companies led under one group. Now, what has come out in the Hindenburg exposure was the manner in which this was all being financed through a host of offshore companies that were listing or buying shares in the Adani Prime companies, through which the share value was inflated. The quantum of their actual capitalization was inflated. And if all this has been happening, which is essentially fraudulent methods, whether they are fraudulent methods or to what extent they are fraudulent methods and how this has happened, that is a matter that requires to be inquired thoroughly. Our concern as far as the CPM concerned is people's interests. With the exposure of the LIC to the extent that what I told you, and the State Bank of India to 40% of all their borrowings through the banks, if that is the case, then this is a matter that requires to be very, very thoroughly probed, maintaining and safeguarding people's interests. And India cannot have another fugitive businessmen. We have enough of them who have left the country and gone away. And therefore, we'll have to, the government and the authorities will have to take measures to ensure that all this is properly inquired into. Normally, the regulators are, as far as the LIC and investments and things like that, it should be the SEBI. The SEBI is the regulator. And as far as the banking is concerned and the State Bank of India's exposure to the borrowings, it is the RBI. Now the SEBI and the RBI, as the regulators, must do their job to inquire into what is happening. But at the same time, there has to be a much larger and a much higher level of inquiry that has to be constituted, because everybody is involved, from the Finance Ministry, from the Foreign Ministry, given the fact that much of the borrowing is being taken through foreign bonds in US dollars, the Commerce Ministry, the Industry Ministry, all of them are involved in this entire process. Therefore, a high-level inquiry is absolutely essential, apart from this, the regulators, which should be monitored on a day-to-day basis by the Supreme Court of India. Until then, we got to ensure, till this inquiry is completed and the truth is known, interests of India have to be protected. And if interests of India have to be protected, we also have to know where this huge amount of money that was being made is actually going. If this government will not make the electoral bonds transparent, you tell the country who are the ones who have bought these bonds and who are the ones who have given it to the ruling party. More than 80% of the electoral bonds funding has gone to the ruling BJP. Who are the people who have bought these from the banks and who are the ones who have given it to the BJP? Then you will know, or the country will know, what is the truth, or how the cronies who are gaining from this government and controlling the Indian economy, how they are also feeding the ruling party through what we have always said, legalized political corruption. So these are matters of very, very serious concern. So CPI now today demands that there should be, apart from the regulators going to the normal course of inquiry, a high-level inquiry constituted by the Government of India, because in today's conditions, with the Parliament being a joint parliamentary committee, will not be of much much use and which has not produced anything so far during the last 7-8 years of this Modi government. So in this situation, a high-powered committee involving all the concerned ministries, monitored by the Supreme Court, is what has to be done immediately to save our economy, save the lives of our people. Unemployment today is at the highest of levels. Our inflation is going rampant despite the RBI saying that it is coming under control, is slightly falling. World calls us the hunger levels in our country as being very serious. The Modi government rubbishes the global indices, but the fact that Modi government has announced and the Prime Minister himself has announced that for the whole year 2023, 5 kg of free food grains will be given to how many people? 81.35 crores of people. That is how much? 2/3 of India. 2/3 of India, according to the Prime Minister of India, cannot survive without this free 5 kg a month. What is that an admission except hunger? If 81.35 crores of Indian people cannot survive without the free food grains,